Hey everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Player Spotlight. Today, I'm joined by the jungler for Ghost Gaming and current World's MVP, sam4soccer2. Sam, thanks for taking some time. We normally start with these Player Spotlights by talking about where you grew up, but I got a chance to come and see where you grew up a little bit. We came out to Philadelphia a couple seasons ago to do a little documentary. GS. I wonder if we could link that or something in the YouTube description. But talk to me about growing up around Philly. What did you like to do when you were a kid?
Well, I guess where you were wasn't actually where I grew up. I mean, I a little bit I was in Philly, but most of it was like about an hour outside of it, in the
Okay.
suburbs. And I guess pretty young, I started playing soccer. I think maybe I was around
Wow.
5. Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, and I basically played that all the way up to high school.
What
Um,
position did you play?
I played midfield. I think I started as left midfield and eventually moved over to like center,
Okay.
which I don't know if it was
What
the best. I was really bad at cardio, so I don't know. I made it work
isn't that
though, you know.
the role that needs to run the
Oh
most then?
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
But you must have been so sick that it didn't matter that your cardio wasn't good, right? Is that how it worked?
Sure, we can go with that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So I'm more familiar with like hockey and what centers
hmm
do in hockey. What was like? What's the midfielder's job in soccer? At least what your job was.
Yeah, I mean, generally, like obviously, you want to control like the midfield. That's pretty, but like you're a big facilitator for sure.
Mm,
Um, I think it wouldn't be too far from like maybe a center, or a point guard position, maybe for hockey and basketball.
okay.
But yeah, you're just kind of
You were
trying
the
to like,
distributor. You're
yeah,
making
yeah,
plays
yeah,
happen. Okay,
yeah.
I got you. So you're playing soccer up until high school. Um, were you already like really into gaming while you were playing soccer, or did you start gaming like after you stopped playing soccer so much?
Somewhere along the way, yeah. I think like I had like bursts of it, I guess you could say.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, for sure. Like maybe not. I definitely got into it a bit more in high school, I think. But there was some parts of middle school. Like I think I got like pretty addicted to like WoW, which is like all I was doing at some point in middle
sure.
school. But and then eventually I was like, yeah, I kind of play this too much. So I just quit like like hard turkey, you know, like.
Hmm.
And
You
then
just
yeah,
fell off the bandwagon, huh?
yeah, I
Were
was like,
you
yeah, this is probably not
it,
great.
it was cutting into your soccer time? You weren't going outside as much or what?
Yeah, and like just hanging out with friends and stuff like that too, which I guess I just ended up valuing more.
Sure.
Because like I think I tried to show one of my like best friends like the game, and he didn't like it much, and I was like, oh okay. And then like eventually, maybe that was like part of it. I was like, oh well, if he doesn't like it, maybe it's just not worth it, whatever.
Got to find a new best friend at that point, bro. If they're not going to be slamming quests with you, like what is the point,
It was
But
probably a good decision, honestly. Like,
yeah, well, you made an okay decision too. Decided to embrace real life for a little bit. But what pulled you back in to gaming whenever you got more into it in high school? You said
hmm.
what reeled you back in? Was it just straight back to WoW?
No, I've well, generally been pretty on and off with WoW, but I didn't play it much after that for a while, I think.
Hmm.
Um, what was it? Like when I was playing soccer, I was always into still like sports games that I'd play with my friends,
Hmm.
and also other games like I'd play like Mario Kart and Smash Bros with my friends too in high school. But I
Hmm.
think in freshman year, probably the biggest thing maybe was like Call of Duty. I
Oh
was
yeah.
definitely really into that with some of my freshman high school friends.
What COD would that have been when you were a freshman? Do you remember which
Which
one?
one? Uh, I think that's World at War, maybe. Because I
A
don't think I
classic.
played. Yeah, I don't think I played for Call of Duty 4, which was good,
Hmm.
and I played it
Yep.
eventually after, because like it kind of died off. I think when I was
Yep.
starting.
Yep.
I think that was World at War.
Great game. I got a lot
Yeah,
a
that was
lot
a
of
really
fun
good game.
memories of looping dogs on Dome with my
Oh yeah,
boys. Dome,
yeah, that
great
and I
map.
think Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2. One of those was my
Yep.
favorite. One of those for sure.
Yep. That was my realm as well for sure. So you were so
Yeah,
you were more of a console player at that point,
yeah,
probably
for
playing a lot
sure.
of stuff
I,
on
I
on
only
Xbox
played.
stuff.
Yeah. I only played WoW on PC in like early middle school, and that was because my sister's like boyfriend played it, and for some
Hmm.
reason it was like I don't know if he was staying with us or not, I can't remember, but either way, it was downloaded on our computer, and he would play it there sometimes. And then he got me and my one sister into it,
Hmm.
and I guess we got hooked for a bit. But other than that, I really didn't play many PC games. Maybe some weird like frog game. I don't even know. Like I can't remember the
What did
game,
you
but like
do in the weird frog game?
I forget what you were even. But I know, like, you jump on these like lily pads or something, and a giant frog would like eat you. Like, dude, I do not know at all. I'm trying to remember it. It's
Listen, man, hopefully the power of the internet,
yeah,
someone will know what you're talking about. But I'm
yeah,
gonna be honest,
maybe
I
that is
definitely
not the best
do not.
description.
Yeah, okay, lily pads, giant frog ate you. And
Yeah,
it was
the
on
giant
PC,
frog's coming
so
out of the water. It's like a little
okay.
foggy-ish. Like he's gonna be eating you
Okay.
if you're not careful.
Sounds a little spooky, man. That was a
Yeah, I
little
kind of was if I'm remembering. Like, I don't know.
that sounds a little bit spooky for sure. You mentioned that that your sister was into WoW with you a lot. What's your how many
Yeah,
siblings do you have?
I have 5 sisters and 1 brother, so it's a
Hmm?
big family for sure.
Oh yeah. And is it just how many of your siblings are into gaming? Does your one sister still play WoW at all?
None of them, no.
No,
Yeah,
you're the
I
lone
think
wolf,
my
huh?
brother maybe a little, but very definitely not near where I am. We would play sometimes together. Like, I'm not sure if the first game we played, maybe we had like the original PlayStation in our
Hmm.
house, and I remember playing like one of the like first like skate games maybe.
Yeah.
So we'd sometimes play together, but we didn't too much like when I was in high school, you know.
Are they
But sometimes he plays, yeah.
what do they think about your current line of work? That you're a pro gamer.
I think they were definitely pretty skeptical at first, especially
Yeah.
with like, well, I did end up like dropping out of college, so I think generally my whole family is very skeptical. But I think at this point they've kind of like accepted it's something I want to do and like have been fairly successful at, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I do want to get into that a little bit more, but
Yeah.
just so I don't lose track, I want to keep going with where we were. So you're playing a whole lot of COD and some frog game on PC occasionally.
Well, that was
Um,
early. That was the middle
right,
school.
early.
In high
Sorry,
school,
yeah.
definitely not frog game.
No frog game for high school, Sam. He had
No.
matured past
Yeah,
the
I was
frog game
over
at
that.
that point. Uh, what got you into Smite? How did you kind of discover Smite and start playing it?
So that was in college in my freshman year. I think um okay, I wasn't as outgoing, but my roommate who was from high school was,
Hmm.
and I think like on one of those like normal like freshman dorm, like I don't know if it's a challenge or whatever, but you like try to keep your door open as long as possible, maybe, you know. You've heard of that, like
I have
just to
no
like
idea what that is,
okay,
man. I
okay.
don't remember that at all.
Basically, I think like there's like you're trying to go for like a streak. You want to keep your door open for during the days, so like you're more welcoming to other people, right? So you just meet more people
Ah,
is
okay.
like the goal. And I think one of
You probably should
the
have done that in my dorm. That sounds like a pretty decent idea. That sounds good.
it's just trying to like become more accustomed to who you like are on the floor with and stuff, I guess.
Sure, sure.
And one of the people I ended up becoming good friends with passed, and he saw like I was playing World of Warcraft at this point
Hmm.
on my like laptop, and he saw me playing. And he's like, "Oh, you should like try Smite. It's a free version of like WoW." And I'm like, "Okay, sure. Like, why not?" Because like I mean that sounded pretty good to me that it was free. I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." I don't know if I'd really say it's like WoW that much,
No.
but
Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
if that
So
guy should be in our ad department necessarily, but he
I
was
mean, it
doing something
worked.
right. Yeah, it
Yeah.
worked for sure.
So me, him, and this other guy, we ended up playing together, and we would all go into the same dorm room. All of us had our laptops. We were on really like scuffed like we had one person on a desk maybe. I was like had my computer on like a windowsill or like a I don't know. And we'd play just Joust. And I guess
Mm,
we did that for a little. And I was a Herc main.
good pick.
Yeah.
That was so what are those guys still playing, by the way, the guys that you played with? Because if they are, it would be
No.
pretty crazy. Do they know that you're a world champion now?
Yeah, I think they both do. Yeah. I talk to
Man,
them from time to time.
okay. That must be
Well,
pretty crazy for them for sure. What were you studying in college?
engineering. I think I went a couple different. Like at first, it was like chemical engineering. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe not that. And then I tried like maybe mechanical. And then I think I went to like biological or something.
Mm,
But yeah, I guess it's like probably on top of getting distracted and like not really enjoying it that much. I just
sure.
kind of ended up not doing the best at it, you could say.
Yeah. I mean, those are all very hard majors on top of that, and if you're trying to focus on Smite at the same time, I can understand that that
Mhm.
kind of getting in the way. So your freshman year, you start playing Smite.
Yeah.
Um, how long did it take you to move away from slamming Hercules and Joust every game? When did you start kind of getting into playing
Hmm.
ranked conquest a lot?
I'm not sure how long it took. That was probably right around like when Season 1 Worlds was going on, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember watching thinking like Omega was really sick.
Mm-hmm. And you'd be right.
Uh, yeah, and I guess maybe around after Worlds I started Conquest is probably what I'd guess, and I still played Herc in solo.
Yep.
And then I think maybe I watched DM Brandon. I think I might have
Mm-hmm.
been a part of JCOM too, because my friend just said we should join this clan. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Um, and he would love invading with Thanatos early game. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that sounds pretty fun. So I tried that, and then that's, I guess, what led to me becoming a jungler. I was a Thana main for a little too after.
Okay. No. So you go to the jungle. You play a lot of
Mhm.
Thanatos. Um, do you remember? Like I remember my first like ranked game that I got in with like Zap and Lassus, and that was like
Yeah,
a really big deal to me. Do you remember the first few times that you started getting in like the higher elo ranked queues?
yeah. For pro players, I kind of want to say like Jeff Hinla was the first one I played against or
Hmm.
with. And I definitely got really nervous for that. I don't remember in
Yep.
general like when I started hitting like high Qs, but he was the first one, and I also think he was maybe one of the first pros. I think him and like Zeno were one of the
Hmm.
first pros who like they like invited me to their party and stuff, and I still got really
Ooh.
nervous and like I fed
Yep.
and like I was like oh my god, like I sent him like a Twitter DM like, dude, I'm so sorry I like fed in your game and stuff, like I was
Yep.
like, oh no. Oh
You
dude,
were
I played
ruined.
Jean Kui. I was against Shaywaz, right, on Cupid mid, and he rushed
Oh.
red pot, and I
Yep.
just got farmed, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're losing that for sure. Shaywaz is
Yeah,
one of the
all
most
day.
notorious Cupid one tricks of all time.
Oh
Dude, I'm
yeah.
just saying, this is kind of the meta for Shaywaz to start come back and dominating the ranked scene. Like Cupid's OP right now, right? Like, where
Yeah,
is he
I'm
at?
surprised he hasn't. Like,
Kind of a missed elo opportunity for him at the very least. So you're starting to get in some ranked queues. You're starting to get a little bit more confident. You're feeding a little bit less whenever Hinla's in your
yeah,
game and all
yeah.
that. Do you remember how you first started getting into playing competitive? Like, do you remember what your first
Mm.
team invitation was and what it was like playing with them?
Yeah. I think a rank game, it was RZ Kill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember him. I
ADC
played with
player, right?
him. Yes, ADC. We played with each other a couple times, I think, on the same rank team, and we both did like really well. And we were like, oh, and then I think like, or we were just like, oh yeah, you're like a good player, and we maybe started queuing together. Then I guess I don't know if I asked him, or he might have asked me, mentioned something, but like basically the invitation somehow got sent to me to join his team,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was known as like Perfect Crime.
Okay. Do you remember who else was on that
And
squad?
yeah, there's Elpadog, Z
Okay.
Drew, and who was our support? I forget who we started with. Eventually, it went to. He had a bunch of names, but his name's Sybil now.
Okay.
He was like
Yep.
Selena Gomez, like
Yep.
2032 at one point, and yeah, eventually it went to him. I forget who the support was before him,
Sure.
but yeah, and that team we were like fine. We are definitely a lower CC team for sure,
Yep.
but at some point we came to like almost beating like Salsa Squadron in some like challenger thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was my first team.
You guys were popping off, dude, at the SCC level. So
Oh yeah,
when at this point, I'm assuming you were getting a little bit more invested. You were
yeah.
starting to play Smite, and I'm assuming trying to think about making the SPL one day as part of
Mm,
that.
probably
Was
not
was that
at
part of the
that point
thought at that
now.
point, or No, you were just kind of
No.
doing it for fun still?
Yeah, it was just fun, you know. And then I mean, eventually, like, it was, I, th- I can't remember exactly, but I think at that point I was still on my laptop, and my
Hmm.
laptop was really bad. Okay, I would get like 10 frames in a team fight, you know,
Oh
like
my god.
I'm like literally like freezing mid fight, and I'm like, okay, somehow I'm doing something. Like I don't know, I don't know how
I hope
anybody
this
thought I could be
Thanatos scythe
decent.
lands.
Yeah. Uh, Eventually, I think I got some money to buy like a shitty PC that I bought the
Hmm.
parts for like $600. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think from then on, or like right when I got that, from then on, it definitely like was a big like spike in my like gameplay. I think I got a decent bit better when I didn't have to play on 10 frames.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you felt like you were owning every single fight
Yeah, I was
because you
like,
could
I could
actually see
actually
what you were
like
doing.
see what's going on. I can play. Like this is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be loving that. So at what point did you? What was like your trajectory to getting closer towards SPL? Where did you go after the perfect crime days?
I think I joined Commitment Committee,
Mm.
which was like it had like Mort Booklyn, One Glance, Mando
Mm.
Warrior, and I think we played with Glazy B mid. I think is what we had.
Okay. Funny story, Sam. I don't think you know this about me. My first
Hmm.
competitive team was a one glance team. I
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played with one glance for not very long because
Hmm.
I was trying out for Resist Evo's mid spot, and I
Okay.
thought I was owning in the tryout. Let me just say, I felt like I was popping off, but
Right.
their jungler, I don't know if he probably wasn't playing with one glance at the time. It was McElroy. We did not
Okay.
get along very
Uh,
well.
Unlucky.
And so I did not end up. I scrimmed with them for a couple days. That was my first test. That was my first taste, I should say, of competitive was with one glance. So, I mean, I could have been you, man. That we could have been teaming together. You know,
That's
that could have been
true.
us.
It could have been us.
If it wasn't for McElroy, man, he kept me down. Let me tell you,
Unlucky.
very unlucky. Uh, so that was what commitment, whatever you said. SEC names
Commitment
are always
Committee.
something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a huge part of the meta down there, I
I
suppose.
think we were decent, but I don't know if I ended up like I don't think I rage quit the team, right? But like maybe we didn't do as well as I thought we could or something. I don't know, and that didn't like make me very happy. I
Hmm.
think if I'm remembering correctly. So I was like, well, okay. When I joined, it was like Glazy B and I were both junglers, right?
Hmm.
And then he ended up like going mid, and I think it didn't work out the best. And then there's like this thing. I think we got another mid laner, and it was like, okay, who's gonna jungle? And then I was like, oh yeah, you can jungle. It's fine. I'll just not be on the team or something.
And you
And
were
maybe
out.
that's what happened. Yeah. And then I think I just full committed to like ranked.
Hmm.
And I don't know the time frame for this for sure, but maybe that's when like maybe that was close to season 3/4
Sure.
when I
Yeah.
like was really high up on the ranked leaderboards and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I think it was season 3, if I remember correctly, that your name started
Yeah, I
popping up
think
in
you're
a
right.
lot of the high elo queues.
Hmm.
You just knew PC Sam was really hitting a different level uh, at that point, I guess. So you're in the high elo queues now. You've gotten your first taste of competitive, but you're still kind of just playing for fun.
Yeah.
Um, you didn't go straight to an eager tryout at that point, right? That was a
I
little bit
think I did,
later.
yeah.
Oh, did you?
Well,
Maybe that
not maybe
does make
not
sense actually.
instantly. It might have been a little later, but I didn't go to any other team. I like was unranked
Okay.
just from there. Yeah.
So yeah, you get a chance to play in the SPL, not on a team that really stinks right now or anything like that. It was an eager team with a
Yeah.
ton of really established names like
Yep.
Zapman on it. What was that experience like for you? Was that pretty crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I remember being really excited. Obviously, I was given like the chance to. I don't know if I was given this. I think I tried out first. I'd imagine. Um,
Sure.
I played with them a little, and I was given the spot, and it was Zap, Aurora, Best, and Divios was the squad.
Hmm.
Um, I remember scrims going like pretty well. I think I was like a Susano main, maybe slash Erlang. I don't know, but I remember owning on
I remember some
Susano in
Thor
scrims.
in there as well. I think you were playing Thor a lot
Mm,
back then, weren't you?
I don't know. Maybe. If
All
you're
right,
talking about
fair
ranked,
enough.
I'm not sure. But in scrims,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I played a lot of Susano.
Okay.
And then I kind of remember owning a bit in scrims. And then the SPL games came around and we played, I think it was SOAR first.
Mm-hmm.
And we went 1-1 with them. I had a really bad first game, and then I picked Erlang, and then that went much better.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had like a decent game. And then we played E United, and that was really bad. I think they actually banned Erlang from me because I looked good on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, let's just not give him that. And then I tried to play like Nasia, and I missed every ult.
Mm.
And I don't know what else I played. I played something else. But either way, it didn't really go well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the dynamic was a little weird before I joined, maybe because I think Zap was really considering like taking off the season or quitting or whatever before.
Right. Right.
And then they I guess persuaded him to give it another try with like a different jungler because I DJ. I guess they want to try
Mm-hmm.
somebody else. And then I think when I joined, like I gave a lot of like hope of potential like could be there, but then like in the SPL games it didn't work out. And then he was like, yeah, this isn't really what I was hoping like a couple weeks ago, I guess. And he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take off, I guess. And then I
Unlucky.
don't know. Yeah, that was unlucky. And then I don't know if like Zap was one of the people like on my side, so to speak, for the team. But after that, I guess they decided they didn't want to play with me. I think Beth specifically didn't. And in
Mm-hmm.
general, I was a lot quieter then. So
Mm-hmm.
like our team dynamic probably wouldn't have been the best maybe
Sure.
with like a quiet mid jungle, you could say.
Was that so?
But
That was
yeah,
what two? You got 3 sets, I guess, or was it two?
that was 2 sets when it was decided, and then I played the third set against, I don't know if it was Noble or what. It was a lower team in general. I think it might have been Noble. I think Shaco was on it
Okay.
for a little, but either way, I think yeah, I was told I was on the team. I played that team, and I think I picked Susana both games, and I hard farmed, but like it didn't really matter, you know?
Yeah, it was already. So wait, you found out that you were getting kicked, but it was like, all right, but show up for our SPL set.
Yeah, like could you play still? Like, and I was like, yeah, sure.
That must have been really awkward, man.
Maybe a little. I don't know. We still end them, but
Hey, I guess it's the right way to think about it. You know, you get a shot to prove that you're good. You know, another set at the SPL level before you ride off into the sunset, so to speak.
yeah,
Was that difficult? I mean, I know like you
yeah,
said, it just was kind of team dynamic, but that probably did not feel very good for you to not get a very long shot.
yeah. I think okay, definitely probably not as much now, but I was definitely for a while at least pretty like salty about the situation, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
had like a little animosity towards like I don't know why it was towards a Roar specifically,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I did, and it's pretty much all gone now. But I was
Sure.
definitely not pleased with the situation for sure. I felt like I got a pretty like short end of the stick, and
Yeah.
it didn't make too much sense to like pick up like a ranked like player and not like I just feel like I didn't get a chance overall, you know.
Yeah. Of course, you're gonna. I mean, you were gonna be a little. You know, you were gonna be a fixer upper, so to speak. You had to learn some stuff
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
so wanted to give you more of a shot, I suppose. So, what did you do after that happened in season 3? What did you want to do with your Smite? Did you almost did you consider still trying it for SPL, or did you want to take a break? Like, what was your mindset like then?
Yeah, I still wanted to play the awkward thing, which was I think pretty bad format wise, is since I played 3 sets, I don't know the exact cutoff. It might have been 4 games or whatever it was. But you get roster locked, so I couldn't play in CC with
Mm,
teams that I wanted to. So I'm kind of just like roster locked, and obviously I'm not going to get picked up, or I'm SPL locked. I don't know if it's roster locked. Either way, I
sure.
can't play in the Challenger Cup, which is what I wanted
Hmm.
to do. So I'm kind of stuck doing nothing, and I think eventually, like just from ranked, I think I queued with Jigs a little,
Hmm.
and maybe I asked if I could watch their games or something like that. I don't know if he said yes, but he did put me on the sub list, which led to me going to LAN with them in the fall. I think it's
Okay.
fall.
So it's what, season 3, fall season 3?
Yes. Which
I think
season was
that's
Eager? Eager was season 3 or 4?
oh, I don't remember.
I
Hold on,
feel
I
like
had
it was
your wiki page
4.
pulled up a second ago.
Wait, no. Dude, maybe that. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't fall. I can't remember, man.
Let's find out here. Let's see. Oh, the Smite Wiki
Says
doesn't go
really
back that
season
far.
3.
Oh, wait, here we go. It was 2017. So that would be 4 years ago. So yeah, season 3.
Oh, okay.
Effectively 4 years ago at this point. Or maybe it was season 4. I don't know, man.
No, I think it
I
was
don't know.
season
What
4.
is the point?
Yeah, what's the point either way? I think it was season 4, but maybe not fall. Maybe it was the summer, like LAN. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, you. It has here that it doesn't have you on the sub list, but you were on Eager until June of 2017. So that would be later 2017 that you would have gotten to land, which would make it the fall split, I
Yeah.
suppose. Um, what was your parents' reaction when you told them you were going to be going to a land? Even as a sub, were they?
Oh, they didn't know.
Oh, they didn't know. You just went.
No, yeah. I mean, I was in college, and I think I honestly probably ended up like missing assignments or whatever to go.
Mm-hmm.
But they just kind of probably had no idea. So
You snuck it out from under him. You were sneaking on him there.
yeah,
Was that LAN experience like, even though you weren't playing, um, was that your first time you'd been to like a LAN event for an esport? What were your first
yeah.
impressions?
Well, I was definitely super nervous. Uh, even like I think the first person I met was Alec Finoke, who was solo laning on that team,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I knew him from ranked and stuff. But like, he's the first person I met at the hotel, because he's the first person who arrived, and then like it was easier to like me and talk to the people on SOAR because like I was just gonna do it anyway because I was their sub, obviously, right?
Right.
But past that, I was definitely really nervous to like talk to anybody else, even though I knew who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but eventually, I guess I got over that barrier, and like I met people who like I knew a bit more. Like I think I met Neil there, and like Day to Remember,
Mm-hmm.
and like Van, the people in Auction Supremacy, and
Yep.
that was really cool. And then I think I met like Jeff and Barrow. I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
I met him at that LAN. Did I meet them at that LAN? I don't know.
Could have been.
It could have been that LAN, or maybe the next one I met him at when I was like in the SML or whatever. I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
met him at one of the LANs too, and that was really cool. But yeah, I was definitely super nervous for sure. But the LAN setting was definitely really awesome to experience, I'd say.
I don't think. I mean, we must have met in one of those, but I don't remember. Do you remember
Yeah, I don't remember
us
either.
meeting?
No, not particularly. I don't know why.
Hmm. Weird. Must have been your fault. Couldn't have been mine. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all I'm gonna say about
probably.
that. Uh, did that? So I imagine going to that LAN, getting a chance to meet everyone and seeing what that
hmm
competition is like at the next level. Did that kind of reignite the fire in you to try and make it back to SPL?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that it didn't need to be reignited, so to speak, but for
Hmm.
sure, it's kind of like a feeling like, oh, it'd be so awesome to play here, you know?
Right.
I think, funnily enough, even though I was a sub, I didn't even watch their games until, like, I think I was part of maybe some team talks at the LAN, but before then,
Hmm.
I didn't like watch any games. I think they didn't want me to. Um, but it's weird that I think that kind of helped my career a bit because even though like played for Eager for a little, it kind of gives you more like a name or a face to the name, you know, type of thing, and like
Right.
people like think about like, oh, why are they bringing him like to LAN? Like maybe they just think he's good or whatever, stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like it kind of helped me a bit, and I ended up teaming with two people on Sawyer, which were Vedium and Fine after.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say you and Fine definitely stayed together for a little bit after that. Went to
hmm
Team Cryptic
Yeah.
later on. What that team was pretty solid. Who was the whole roster?
Um. Well, the team was me, Fine. We had Shadow Chair mid, Gino in support, and Vedium, ADC, obviously.
Pretty stacked roster right there. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Shadow Chair had a little bit of SPL experience eventually, but four
hmm
out of five of you guys, I would say, pretty successful SPL careers. You
Yeah.
guys played together. The wiki has here until from September all the way through until February, so basically the end of that season, and then you joined that very nice to me squad
Yeah.
uh, with Wowie and everyone, right? Who that team was pretty solid as well.
Um.
You guys were top of NA, right?
Yeah, eventually, I don't think we had Wowie at first. I think initially our team was me and Solo Troll, we had Shadow Chair, and then we had Oceans and ADC, and
Mm,
support, I think was maybe Ratcheteer. We ended up changing out a lot for the duo lane, because I think Oceans wasn't very motivated, and that made
mm-hmm.
it hard to gauge like supports too. But basically like we got the spot through Oceans. I don't. It was weird like because Oceans I think is a really good player, but I think he really was not motivated at the time, and he just didn't really care about Smite, so it made it
Sure.
a bit strange. But yeah, we started the squad as that, and I think we lost eventually. Actually, okay. Our squad I think went to Left Syndrome and Risky Ace is who our dueling was at the end of that split.
Yeah, I was gonna say I found Risky Ace and Left Syndrome here
Yeah,
for a little bit. It looks like that
and I
might have
think
been your initial ADC duo lane.
yeah,
Maybe not.
maybe it took a little to like figure that out, but eventually it was that. Uh,
Right.
and I think we were really confident with them. I think we lost though to Paul's team with just like anxiety onset, and they had like Paul
Oh yeah.
Mollusk, like
Yep.
Pain. Uh, I think it was Mando and
Mando.
Day.
Yep. Yep. That team. I remember that
So
team
yeah,
completely dominating NASCC for a little bit. So that, but then you get your call up basically to Trifecta pretty late in the year. You were playing on Very Nice to Me from the beginning of the year until September,
yeah,
so getting pretty close to Worlds time. What
yeah.
was that? How did that kind of call up come about?
It was very unsuspected, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I was hanging out with my family kind of in this city in Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, usually we're like all really spread out, so we'd come together, like a couple of us at least, just to like hang out since people were in town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sorry. And I think I'm not sure if that was the first message I got about it, but I think Mask messaged me and
Mm-hmm.
asked if I was interested in joining Trifecta. I said yes, obviously. I think he messaged me because he wanted to make sure like they would have a choice to go
Sure.
to since he felt like quitting. Um, and then I think also like Neil and maybe it was Neil or Zach. I think it was Neil. Maybe he messaged me too about it.
Uh-huh.
And then at the same time, like very quickly after, I think I went in a call with like Neil, Zap, and Shook also,
Mm-hmm.
who's the owner of Trifecta. And then like we kind of just like talked about stuff and got it done like pretty quickly. I forget the exact
Mm-hmm.
day, but yeah. So it's pretty surprising, but it's definitely like really exciting.
Was your family aware of this? Did you let them know that you were going to be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
hitting the next level here? What were their reactions
yeah.
to that?
I mean, they were definitely very happy for me. I think at that point I was living in Philadelphia. Like I wasn't actually in college anymore because I
Mm-hmm.
had told them that like I wasn't really enjoying it and I wasn't very happy. So I was living in Philadelphia with one of my friends. Um, and yeah, so I told them that I got the offer because I think they
Mm-hmm.
knew I was playing SML before,
Mm-hmm.
but not SPL. But and yeah, they were definitely pretty happy for me too.
So was Paul already there in the mid lane for
Yes, yeah.
Trifecta at that point? That's what I thought. Okay,
Paul
so
joined the beginning of the split. This is I don't know if it's right. It's like at least a couple weeks in, I think.
yeah, I think that sounds right to me. So you're back with Zap after that
Yeah.
small stint on Eager. Did that make you nervous at all, or was that a little bit awkward for you? Like, what were your thoughts about teaming
No,
with Zap again?
I liked Team of the Step the first time. Obviously, he just wasn't like feeling it, I guess, overall. So that was
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate, but I was definitely happy to be teaming with him. I think I was like really good friends with Neil at that point. So he
Mm-hmm.
was like probably one of the players I wanted to play with the most. So that was really like convenient and like just like awesome that it worked out that way.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't know much about Paul or Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, those were I guess more question marks you could say, but
Sure. Yeah, I remember a lot of that discussion around that team was that you and Paul were popping off, but you were rookies, basically. I mean,
yeah,
you had a couple sets, but we're basically rookies to the SPL. So how long would it last? Would you guys be able to be consistent? All that kind of stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
what was it like meeting? Maybe not. You guys weren't the very top of the league or anything like that, but you were performing individually very well, and your team was performing pretty well with this rookie mid jungle duo. What was that sort of initial phase back in the SPL like?
It was definitely I can't it's hard to remember completely. My biggest memory about it was just getting absolutely pounded by United. And Baskin was their mid, and I remember him going Thoth with Blink. And I'm
Oh
thinking,
no.
okay, that shouldn't be good, but like it is owning us. So that was a little rough, but
Yep.
I don't know if I started off well or not particularly. It's hard to remember.
If I
But
remember correctly, you guys were playing pretty well.
yeah, I think we're like fine at least. But I think I did improve a lot that split, I'd
Hmm.
say, leading up to like Worlds. Um, I think we talked about it a little in like I don't know if I can mention like the roll queue thing,
Hmm.
but thinking about after that, like I think we scrimmed a lot against Splice and Sino, and in my opinion,
Yeah.
he was like by far the best jungler I played against, and he always made stuff really tough. He would like go Talaria boots, right? And I'd
Hmm.
always get out farmed. I was always like behind, but he's also like just on the map more than me because he's faster.
Hmm.
And I think he was just really good at that point too,
Hmm.
like way better than me for some reason, or not some reason. I maybe I shouldn't have experience, but like I got the experience playing against him, and I think that probably helped my game a lot because I think he really was playing well and really understood the meta. And yeah, I think that was a pretty big like boon to my overall maybe trajectory to be playing against him. Just playing against good players helps you like improve.
Definitely. Definitely. And it clearly helped you guys out. I mean, you went to Worlds that year. You guys make a run through placements, if I remember correctly, get to
Yeah,
Worlds, and then you get a chance to play against Baskin again. And you guys
yeah.
absolutely crush E United to go to the semifinals. What was it like being able to play in front of a crowd for the first time and to have that first set in front of a crowd be so successful for you guys?
Yeah, I mean that was just an awesome experience for sure. Um, Definitely like a good memory. I think like we all think we could have gone farther than we did, I'm sure,
Hmm.
because we lost to rival. I think we got 3-0'd.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know if it like for how like at least from the beginning of the year, I don't think that year could have gone better for me in terms of how everything panned out, like going to semifinals and stuff, right? It's hard to like
Yeah.
ask for more.
Yeah.
Probably Paul was thinking the same thing. Um, so yeah, definitely just really pleased with how it went overall. I think the rival set, you can look back and like there's a couple plays that I think I made which were really bad and I could have like changed like a few things. Like we had really good leads and stuff and we just didn't completely play off them as well as we could have. I think there was a
Hmm.
really good chance we could have had to make it to finals at least. I don't know if we would have beaten Splice, but I think generally like we could have given like a good like match, you know.
Sure. But like you said, I mean, you finished top four in the entire world. You're
Yeah.
you're feeling pretty good about that. You guys decide to stay together and keep the same roster going into the next year, and you end up moving to Atlanta in order to
Yep.
play. What was your? I mean, your parents must have been pretty ecstatic whenever that you finished so well at Worlds. Were they excited to see you move down south, or were they a little bit trepidatious about it?
Mm, I don't know if they cared that much. I think they're probably more so excited.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think they're probably just generally happy for me. They're definitely really pleased with, I guess, me doing well at Worlds, right? That was like a
Sure.
surprise to them. I think like I don't know, generally like I don't really tell people about it, like in my family even, but maybe somebody found out about it and they all like a lot of them watched, you know, and that was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think generally they're pretty like at that point like open to me like doing what I'm doing, you know?
I remember, like I said, we came to Philly and did a short
Yeah.
interview with you there, and I got a chance to talk to your parents. And I remember telling your dad, yeah, I mean, Sam finished in the top four. That meant he was one of the 20 best players in Smite this year. And he was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And I was like, Sam, why aren't you telling these people these things? Like, you got to be a little bit more, assertive about how sick at Smite you are. And maybe now it's a little bit easier for you because you've
Eh,
continued to grow. Maybe not. Yeah, that's not kind of your style, I guess.
yeah.
You're just kind of vibing. I get it. SK, you guys were really middle of the pack all year, basically. We're consistently
Yeah.
beating the bottom end teams, consistently losing to the top end teams. How confident were you guys going into not even worlds, but placements, because you had to play through those placements? I'm assuming you felt pretty confident at placements that you'd at least be able to make it to the world championships.
Yeah, I think for placements we did feel really confident. I think like generally we weren't that confident maybe like a couple weeks before. We kind of hit like I don't know if you call it a crisis point, but we were all like, well, we just weren't very happy with how stuff was going, and maybe people got really tilted, right? And it wasn't the most like
Sure.
fun environment because of it. But then maybe a week before we changed maybe a couple things and we started to get stuff together more. And I think going to placements, we didn't really fear too many of the teams, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think, yeah, for placements, we were definitely confident.
You guys stomped at placements, looked like the best team there for sure. But did that? I mean, like you said, you were kind of in a down spot right before placements. Picked it up
Yeah.
right in time. Be real with me. Where did you think you were going to finish at Worlds? Did you think you were going to end up winning it all?
I don't think so, no. I think, like, generally you always think you have a shot, right? But,
Sure.
actually, I don't know. It's hard to say exactly what we thought.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's not like for certain, like, oh, yeah, we're going to lose here. But, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if our confidence was at an all-time high. I guess after placements probably was, like, decent in some sense, like,
Sure.
because we did play well. But, yeah, I don't know if we thought we'd win. It definitely was not, like, a thing we saw for sure.
What? I mean, you guys go down. You won your quarterfinal pretty easily, if I remember correctly, right? Who did you play against there?
We played against Splice, and you could say it was easy, but game one we got kind of stomped.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
I actually had a really bad game, and they did a start we hadn't seen where they like run to our red with like scream and a roar,
Yep.
so jungle support, and we hadn't really seen it, so it was a little weird. And I
Mm-hmm.
had like a really like abysmal game, I think, on Thor,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess I like shook it off. I don't know, but after that, it was definitely like a pretty clean set from us. I think it was best of
Yeah,
three,
you
so
guys.
kind of
Yeah,
had
it
to
was
be.
only best of three. I remember game 3 in particular felt like it was over instantly
Yeah.
in that game. You guys got really far ahead in that one. So then you move on to semis and you play against a Renegades team that everyone thought might be the best team there. They looked really, really strong coming into that event, and then they go up 2-0 on you guys in the semifinals. That could not have been a moment of great confidence for you guys there, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely weren't happy, obviously, with being down 2-0. But I think, like, Neil kind of said something like, yeah, well, we just got to go out there and play, like, our best, and whatever happens, happens, right? I mean, kind of all just
Yeah.
like, yeah, we just got to do whatever we can, like, it'll be fine, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you remember, was it game 5 that you were playing Susano, or was that game 4 where you, like, blinked in and insta-killed their backline by Fire Giant? Because when I think of that
Was,
set, I think of like game-defining or set-defining moments is how I try and keep
yeah,
track of things, and that's what I remember in particular from that set was your Susano play.
uh-huh.
Um, do you feel like you just kind of hit the zone there, or what? I mean, you all kind of did, right? That
Yeah.
every single player on your team was just kind of in the zone when it came to the last few games of that set.
Oh, was that game? I thought that was game 3, maybe. Was I wrong about that?
Maybe it
Maybe.
was. It was a very long game, if I remember properly.
Yeah, it was game 3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Wait, what was the question exactly? I forgot.
Like at what point did you feel like, wow, we could really win this semifinal? Like, was it after you won game 3 and you still knew that you had 2 more to go, or?
Yeah, I'm sure it was after game 3, we were like, okay, that's like one under our belt, right? And then game, I can't remember the picks. Game 5, I was Thor, I'm pretty positive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Game 3 or 4, I was Erlang. Was I a Hunbats in one of those?
I think you were. I remember Cherry played a lot of Circuit.
Yeah, he played Circuit.
think you played Susano, Erlong, and Thor. Sound right to me. Uh, to close out that set. Maybe you doubled up on Susano
Oh,
or
maybe I
something
did
like
play
that.
Erlang. I don't know.
I don't
Either
know.
way, um, after game 4 won, it was a tied series, right? And I think it was pretty late still, but like I definitely remember the series was over. Game 5, I think I was Thor, and I got like a double or triple dunk on mid camps,
Mm,
solo side. And I'm pretty sure from there on out, we just kind of knew we were gonna win. You could just like feel it. It was like pretty early on, but like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and all the momentum in the world at that point for sure. It was a very, very long set. I remember that one went really late. And then you get to go
yeah,
up against your future teammates, though, of course, unbeknownst to you,
yeah,
in the finals. You guys must have had pretty good confidence coming into that set.
yeah, for sure.
Did you feel like you were gonna? I mean, it wasn't like it was an easy win. You know, it was still a fairly close
Yeah.
set, but it felt like you guys were in control for the vast majority of that Sunday.
hmm Um, I mean, we definitely were very confident going in for sure. Like after winning, obviously, like when you're in finals, anything can happen. So, but we were feeling hot in general and definitely confident. The game 1 stuff was a little weird because we had a bunch of
Yep.
restarts with Persephone.
Yep.
But I think maybe Paul got a little frustrated, but generally we just thought they were a little more tilted over that than we were. I don't
Mm,
know why. And we just tried to keep calm and like not care too much.
sure.
And game 1 for some reason was really easy for us after that, like after we
Yeah.
redrafted.
Yep. I remember that, and I remember. Look, we never root for anyone in the casting booth, but I remember because you guys got off to a really good start in one of those resets. You guys like first blooded them,
Yeah.
stole speed.
Yeah, the first start was pretty good. Like the first one, I think we just got like I invaded their red, right? I just went and did their red, and we were happy with it because they had like a pretty aggressive support. I don't know if it was Circuit or whatever, but I think it was Circuit. So we were like, oh yeah, this is fine. And then game 2, we actually got everything. We got their red, we killed Mike, something else, and we restarted. And we're like, okay. So like in that sense, we were like a bit annoyed, but
Yeah, I remember just thinking like, man, if they got off to that great start and then rival wins game 1 off this reset,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that has got to be so damaging to the SK mental. So that at least it was like okay, that's the way it quote unquote should have gone
mhm,
off of that start. I think that you guys have one of the coolest moments in Smite history when it comes to ending the game and knowing you're winning worlds because you guys take a fight that where rival tries to ambush you basically by your tier
yeah,
1 in mid, and you know the game is over and the set is over as you're just walking up the mid lane and you have all this
yeah,
time to enjoy it. Do you remember that march up mid lane? That must have been one of the greatest moments.
yeah, for sure. Um, I mean, I don't know. Should I talk about the team fight at all, or?
If you want, yeah, if you remember it, then go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever
the
comes
team
to mind
fight,
for it.
I think I literally knew we were just gonna win before we even like started it completely because I like
Mm-hmm.
flanked them in mid and they were coming. Maybe we saw them in awards, but I got both their backliners didn't have Bs and I was able to get an ult on them because I was coming behind them. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew they were gonna path there, so just got a big ult and they also like heavy dove like Zap and I think he played it really well or something like that too maybe. So we kind of just wiped them there. But then walking down, it's kind of hard to explain it how like it felt,
Yeah,
but it was definitely like one of the best moments you could like feel for sure. I mean,
yeah. I feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like definitely a big moment of like just a surreal moment in general. I think is how I described it in the moment too, like for interviews.
Definitely. Yeah, because so often it's like you don't know if you're going to end the game on a Phoenix fight and then it's over in the blink of an eye. It's kind of
Yeah,
better this way for you guys, right? You got a moment to like soak it in and
yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah.
you had done it and
I
that you
mean,
had won.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say that I remember going down and then like before we got towards their Phoenix, I was laughing like VEL, like a
Yeah,
Hunbat's laugh. That's just a good laugh. And
it's a
then
good
Mike came
laugh.
up, and Neil and I were like, "Oh, kill Mike! We got to kill Mike here," because like we just knew the game was over. And Paul's like, "Please just end the game." And Neil and I were like, "Oh, kill Mike! Kill Mike!" But
Well, I don't remember. Did you kill Mike or no?
oh, we got him.
Okay, huge.
There's
Ooh,
no doubt about
I was
that.
nervous for a second there.
Oh yeah.
What was your reaction when you got handed the MVP trophy? What was that like?
My reaction? I don't know. I mean, obviously, it just was really like happy about it,
Sure.
but I think I said in the interview too, like definitely any of us could have gotten it. We all played like really well, obviously, so I don't think any of us really cared about who got it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say maybe if I didn't get it, I give it to like Neil. That's what a lot of people have said because I think he had like a really insane Worlds run too. But so did literally everybody, right? Everybody played really well. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's like cool, but it's nothing too like important really to me.
Fair enough. I think it's a good way to look at it for sure. Before we let you go, I do have to talk about it because you go from winning Worlds and winning MVP to instantly changing rosters. How did that sort of situation come about? How did you end up joining this eventual Ghost roster?
Well, I think part of it was we really didn't do well during the season, and that was
Mm-hmm.
pretty important to me because it's kind of taxing to like. Sure, it doesn't matter really that much, but like to kind of think about like what's going wrong every single week is like pretty taxing to you mentally, I think.
Sure.
As well as near the end of what I mentioned, like our team environment wasn't in the best state, so the fun dropped off a little, which I think is pretty important too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though generally I think our team environment was really good, just there's a little like minor part where it wasn't that fun. And then also I really like we put generally I'm a pretty new player overall, and I had the desire to play
Mm-hmm.
with new players, I'd say, since I haven't had that experience really.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there really couldn't be better players to play with than like the team I'm on now, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's working out pretty well for you guys.
Yeah.
Phase one champs, and looking like you could definitely repeat with the way that you guys are playing now. Looking a little bit past Smite. Have you given any thought to what you want to do whenever you've wrapped up your 13 World Championships and your 12 MVP trophies? What are you thinking about doing once your Smite career is done?
Yeah, I don't really have any thought about it, honestly. I'm more just thinking in the moment, get there when I get there, you know. But yeah, my goal is just kind of win as much as possible, see how that goes first, then I'll get to anything after when I'm there.
Fair enough. You got a lot of Smite ahead of you if you keep playing the way you are right now, Sam. It's been
Yeah,
fun to watch you
hopefully.
this year. Well, thanks for taking the time. You got any shout outs you want to make before we let you go? Maybe to Mike barging into our interview in the background there.
Yeah, shout outs to Mike going shopping. He's coming home now.
He better got donuts for you. Like that's the thing.
I hope he did. I don't know. I mean, I got a couple, so I'm okay. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Just generally shout outs to everybody who supports me, right? All the fans who support Ghost and Ghost Gaming in general too. Definitely really good org. Other
Yeah,
than that, yeah, I
absolutely.
think that's about it. And Ben.
Let everyone and Ben, of course. Where could everyone find you? Your Twitter and your Twitch and all that kind of stuff.
It's just twitter.com/sam4soccer2. Same with Twitch, all the same.
Are we going to keep the numbers no matter how many championships we make, Sam, by the way? I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I'm
kind of
pretty
iconic
committed.
now at
There's
this
just
point.
no choice, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and thanks Sam, of course, for the time. Let us know down in the comments below who you want to see next on the next episode of Player Spotlight, and make sure you're subscribed and like it and all that good YouTube stuff. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch you next time here on Player Spotlight.